All right, so I'll go ahead and get started. Glad that everybody can join me today for this quick class. This isn't a very long class. This is your MIA Marketing Innovation Automation. Basically, it's your overview, but on the tail end, I'm going to mainly focus on your virtual features of MIA. I have received several emails basically this past week, just saying, hey, I'd really appreciate it if you would cover some, basically a refresher of what all is entailed in MIA. So that's what I'm going to do to get started. MIA is a two-part program. You have your email, which is featured right here, which has marketing collateral within it right off the bat. You'll receive an email based on the status change on FMLS. So within 24 hours, you'll receive an email, either a new listing, price reduction, open house, or sold status is changed in FMLS. The very first email, your new listing, has the most collateral attached. And from this very email, you'll notice that it congratulates you on your new listing. And in your very top part of this particular email, you have the ability to do an immediate Facebook post. You can view a preview of a postcard that you can send for a radial mailing. And you can also post an ad on Facebook. Click on the share button, prompt you in MIA to start a Facebook post. To which page it goes to, whether you have a personal page or a business page. And you can also put in your comment section here on the below and prompt you to set up your account and link the two together, which is a very simple process. You'll just confirm that your Facebook account is what it is and that you want to post through MIA onto your Facebook. Okay. I would also encourage incorporating this link, which is the website tied to the listing, on every comment section, but I'll share with you more about that website. The next item is your notify the neighbors, which is a preview of your postcard. So I'm going to click on the preview. It'll be first to fourth on this particular postcard. So more likely you will probably edit this design, which I'll show you where that is, because most of the time it's the very front of the listing rather than the rest of the home. But it's giving you a rough overview of what the postcard will look like. Your next boost, personal or your business page, you can set your targeting and demographic. If you've done a Facebook ad before, you'll probably know about these items. Some of it's zip code, and then finalizing the ad where you confirm the design and you make the purchase of the ad to go to Facebook and how long it lasts. Okay. Our marketing status change. For this particular scenario, this is a just listed, and it allows you to preview the designs that are within the marketplace. Now, you can edit these later, but this shows you what's currently in there. So right off the bat, you have your just listed. When you click on the preview, you'll notice this is what the just listed flyer view of what they've created for you. And sure, once again, the pictures are in order from FMLS, but it gives you an idea of how the brochure can be developed. And whenever you do make your changes, or if you like it as, okay. Let me know if I'm lagged, that my cursor was moving too fast for the screen. So I'll try to slow it down before I make my clicks. The next item is your video, showcase the property. I believe since this is usually this would be a link that you could click, but it's not available. The next is your preview of your website. When you click on the preview, you'll notice that this is the listing website tied to. As you scroll down, you'll notice into your posting, whether it's when you're doing a social post or if you're sending out a communication through the CRM or any kind of email communication, be sure to use this URL to tie the strings together of your design to the website. And I'll show you how to do that more in a second. So this is your website. So this to view the details from FMLS, and then care. and they can also contact from this URL. So once again, this would be another URL that you can incorporate into your marketing, whether it's the website or a virtual tour, or if you want to house on YouTube, which I will cover as well. Lastly, one for you to download and use it however you need your planning for your listing. From here, or you can actually log into Mia through your MyHR office. If you log into MyHR office, you go over to the left side where the hamburger is, office, or can you explain that a little bit better? Your question, sorry. It says, does the Buckhead show as the agent's office? On the just listed post office, information is pulled in through MyHR profile. Marketplace is pretty straightforward. Let me make the window a little bit. So the top navigation right off the bat, you'll notice there's home, projects, designs, campaigns, contacts, and listings. To better explain this, projects are your current listings and what collateral has been made or has been made by you. It's basically your folders for each of your listings and the items that are within them, whether you created them yourself or the system made it for you. I'll dive into each one as I get to it. The next feature is your designs. Your designs are the actual creation of new collateral from templates that are built into Mia. So you're making brand new designs with your criteria in them. Next is campaigns. Campaigns have not been completely utilized yet. I believe our marketing team is going to be expanding upon it soon, so I'm not going to truly cover campaigns. Your next option is contacts. So your contacts are the people that you have either loaded in or added individually, just like what you do in the CRM. A recommendation, since CRM and this system work in, they cover different grounds of the type of digital marketing you're going to do. A way you could handle this is you could export your contacts from the CRM and upload them into Mia if you're comfortable with this. But I'm also going to show you some ways of using the items from Mia in your CRM. Lastly is the listings, which isn't a whole lot to check. When you click on this particular tab, you'll notice that it just has the list of your pulled into Mia. So the question is, did you say there's a better way to log in than H&R Office? So my H&R Office is your best way of logging in, but the email takes you right in as well. So I've always felt that just the email, since it's going to prompt you to begin with to go in there, is an easy way. Both are awesome. I'd use both. It just depends on where you are with working with the program. All right, so the very first tab I'm going to cover is projects, folders populated in, if there's a change or an open house or price reduction of some sort. If you have a pencil, that means you've created an item freshly for your listing. So that explains how this right here goes. The more numbers means the more status changes in FMLS. The pencil means you created something. Okay, I'm going to stay in this particular category. Just listed open house. I think the different application item. So you have, I'm going to start off with an item that I'm going to plan on making some changes to because I want to show the facets of this actual collateral. So I'm going to click on the open house. Okay, so each item's a little different based on the size of the collateral piece. This is your standard, and edit it or the original. E-flyer. You can also email it to your contact self and forward it to your contacts as well. It's a really neat idea, and it helps if you want to add some immediate items to it, like a hyperlink to the image. You can also download the PDF to use and have it printed. Pinterest. Now, Pinterest isn't on every item, and not everybody has a Pinterest account. But if you're trying to handle coverage of social medias, this is a great option if you're trying to cover Pinterest as one of your social items without any true effort. All right, so in this particular design, this is a pre-made item by Mia, and I need to make some changes to it. So I'm going to go over here to the edit bar, and I'm going to click on edit. And the reason why I'm covering this particular feature of Mia is because it's very streamlined, and it doesn't allow you to deter or get lost. So right off the bat, you have your info option, which is your project name, which will probably be your listing more likely. So I'm going to keep moving from here because I do want to keep it as my listing. In this window, you'll notice these are the photos, lines, the view this. To remove them, you actually have the ability to preview, throw it away, remove the image, switch the images and replace it, or you can crop in the image. So you can either remove it or swap it, just the individual image, or over here at the top right, you can just remove all and then add the photos back, which is something you will run into. So for virtual items like the website and so on, you can remove all and then start over, and I'll show you what it looks like when you remove it. So I'm going to go ahead and click remove all with the intent of adding back photos. When I remove all, you'll notice there's 4 boxes. I can either click on the individual box and sub in a picture, or I can click on the add photos and start adding the ones I want to add on. In this window, you can either have your photos on Dropbox, stock photos, favorite photos, but the two that you're probably going to work with the most are My Computer and the project photos. If you're going to My Computer, you're probably going there to get a high-res picture for a flyer, more likely, that needs to be printed, because the digital assets are fine as a low-res picture from FMLS, but sometimes in the scenario when you're working with a flyer you're going to print, the largest pictures on your flyer and brochure, you probably want to use a high-res photo for. In this scenario, I'm going to go ahead and use the pictures that are already tied to this listing that are on FMLS. So I'm going to click on the project photos. When I click on this option, you'll notice there is a streamline of photos. I'm going to select back into this flyer. Dining room, the kitchen, I'll take the bedroom. And I'm going to add these selected items back into my flyer. Okay? The next line, this is ways whether they're brand new, you can tell. So you'd have to be mindful. Let's see, I just got a quick question. It says, do all photos from... So once again, you have free range to down. If you have someone covering an open house for you, this is a great opportunity to incorporate them in, and you'd save and continue. Incorporate either continue, and that is how you make your edits to your flyer. So what I did was I took accounts. I would check in with IT about a team account scenario. At this moment, I only know that there's 2 agents that can be included. So maybe this would be a great opportunity to think about getting a team photo. Yeah, no, not a problem. Yeah, look into your team account, and yeah, I mean, hopefully, there's going to be a second tier of edits that are going to be made to Mia. To be honest, it's been running so well, and we've had such great success with it. So, but thank you for bringing that. So that is your standard. I have an item in my projects folder that I made tweaks to. All items. This fresh new design that is in Mia, and it can be done for any of the items. So for instance, I ran into this recently with an agent where they were trying to be creative, and they took photos of the exterior of the home to feature it more as a garden feature of the home, one of her listings, and it turned out fantastic. I mean, she had 15 different photos. She incorporated it into a virtual tour, and she posted it. So there's many ways that you can think of how to use this design page, this design tab, and use it virtually that you can work with. And I'm selecting this as my design to create something new. Once again, you'll notice there's the step-by-steps. So from a virtual item and collateral, the thought process behind this ability to design something new is endless. This is a great opportunity to feature certain items. And the way that agent used it as a garden, if you're on a lake property featuring your dock and the photos, there's many ways to pull this in to basically push your listing to a higher level based on the features that make it charming. For this particular option, I'm going to go to make it my project name, which I'm going to make it 4250, again, Northside Drive, and say I'm going to be say I just want to feature kitchen shots. And of course, I'll have probably more kitchen shots, but this is something I'm going to do for this particular project name. I'm going to leave it in the project folder for 4250 Northside Drive. And so you'll notice down here, since I'm creating something new, if I was doing a brand new listing that's about to come on the market, you can use this option that says, no thanks, I do not want to use listing data when creating this project. But since I am featuring the 4250, I'm going to select my 4250 as my option. And then in this option, particular scenario, I'm featuring only kitchen shots. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Just as easy to add back in. Basically, I'm making a virtual information. I can make any addition. I could say 4250 Northside Drive kitchen. I mean, there's many ways to use a new design like that. If you want to pull everything full circle, this is a great opportunity. The last feature is, once again, your agent. Go over to unbranded. It's actually down here. You can publish for web as a branded of Harry Norman or an unbranded. So a lot of people are using this currently when it comes to FMLS and linking. So it's pretty straightforward. There's nothing crazy more than just clicking on it and getting a different URL that allows for either branded published or unbranded published. Does that cover the question you're asking? Perfect, right on. So basically what I just covered, I took a brand new design template, and I created a new piece of collateral by choosing the design I want. Questions on the design tab. Okay. So like that, you can make a brand new item that could be virtual as well. You can make a brand new virtual item or video specifically for a purpose. And that's what I'm going to go more into. So the whole premise behind the virtual side of Mia is that it has 4 different options when it comes to virtual presence. You have a social media post, a video, a custom website, and a virtual tour. Those are 4 items that cover so much. And the trick behind it is incorporating the items together in different creative ways. So one thing that I run into the most is the virtual tour to begin. So I'm going to start with going to my projects folder, and I'm going to bring up the virtual tour for the listing I was just covering. So in your mind, you have to think, I have 4 different options. I can either use a branded, published to web URL version of this virtual tour. I can do an unbranded and incorporate it into sites where branding is required to be removed. You can share it on Facebook, and you can add a a link to Twitter. That was hard to say. So you have different ways of distributing it. Obviously, when you publish to web, it first asks you whether you want to host it. You click on the host option for this item, and it allows you to have the URL, but you can shortening option of it. I want to make sure that I'm covering that right. I said host and publish. All that's really doing is or replacing something. It's just asking whether you want it. It's taking a little while though. Come on. Then also you can shorten URL if the option you have a shorter URL. Okay. So that's your virtual tour. It's a great asset, different feature. A marketing coordinator sends you a graphic to be the first image on. Okay, so the next item I'm going to go over is your website that's tied to the listing. So I'm going to go back to my battle down here on the website. It's actually stored to access. Well, I mean, you can always come back here and republish and grab the URL, especially if you've made any edits to it. Can you edit the URL to be a property address? You can't edit it from the MIA website, but you can purchase the URL and then have a redirect set up on it. That is one way of handling it for a cosmetic reason, so that you can be more visual with the address. Okay, so this is your website. Once again, it has very similar options. You can edit right here if you want to remove some photos or if you want to add more photos on or change the order of them. You can either publish a Harry Norman branded one or an unbranded. You can push it to Facebook and you can tweet a link, which is pretty straightforward. It's a great feature to use and you should incorporate it in the text and copy of everything you do. All right, so the next item I'm going to cover is probably the most important in my opinion, which is this is a new listing. Okay, I've received several questions involving the YouTube and the uploading of videos. You need a YouTube account with a channel to push to YouTube. And I'll show you what I mean by this. When I click upload to YouTube, it's going to prompt you to connect the accounts together. But not only that it's on Google, that it has a channel putting the video onto YouTube. To show you what I'm talking about, say you're on YouTube, you're on your basic page of YouTube, and you see this little icon at the top. It's super, and you just create the channel. These special features to it. Okay? What will end up looking like is kind of like the Harry Norman Trainer channel that we have. I think it won't have any information about some of these things. It doesn't have for the video that you're. My recommendation, I made this quick Word document from the text from FMLS, and I also put a click here to learn more, and I use the website that's tied to this listing through MIA. Once again, I'm closing the loop. I'm bringing back the item of the website made for this listing to do this YouTube video. So I'm going to copy all of this, and I'm going to put it in the description for. You can really control a lot of things, giving it a little bit more business. Absolutely, this page in a heartbeat. Absolutely, it is with these virtual items. It's only going to be beneficial to you to tie those two together. To show you an example of what it will look like, this is an example that I published just before this class. So you have your video. I'll play it real quick so you get it. And then your information from FMLS. So this is a great virtual tour option where I've, of course, added on the website. You can't forget the website item, of course, but it's one of those items that a lot of people neglect because they don't incorporate the links, subscribe to my page to see my YouTube channel to see more of my great listings. Like the closing of the two items together is so important. That's what will make you successful with virtual tours and virtual presence. Okay. So those are already addressed this, but can I use this on our listings that if you have something coming in advance or coming soon, you can also use the designs option to do a coming soon option. with the listings address, and instead of having open house as the status, you would use the, here I'll show you where that custom, you would use the custom template, which there will be more custom templates in the soon as your option. The times that we're having right now, items like these are so important for the communication. So I'm going to go back to that social post. Okay, so this social post, not go into your CRM, which I won't go too deeply into, but go into your CRM and create a template that you can drop these social media posts in to make a communication to your database. An example of this I've made just before this class. I took the Valentine's Day card and I mentioned from FMLOS, and I mentioned our trainer that explains how to do this. But I will do videos tomorrow specifically showing how I created this. Another option is also the e-flyer that's within the CRM. I did the same situation. I downloaded the JPEG, I brought up a Valentine's Day card or whatever holiday card, and I switched out the image for the e-flyer for the open house to send out to my contacts. As the selling agent, of course, with the permission of the listing agent to use a photo. It wasn't under your name. Not technically your listing, let alone let down, of course, as well. Show you how we have custom CRM. So I hope everybody checks out this great content, subscribe to the channel. I post new things almost daily now. So I'm so glad you joined, and that obviously means y'all are healthy and happy, and I'm so glad y'all could be here. Have a wonderful day.